Hey you guys, welcome back for another video. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Gerby Norellis. You can follow me on Facebook, Gerby Norellis, and you can follow me on Instagram, G Norellis. If you like the video, click the like button and subscribe to my channel. So today I'm gonna get into talking about my 5 dogs that I own. I'm gonna tell the story of how I ended up having 5 dogs and I'm going to describe each one that I have. I have different breeds in my house. I have 2 that's a mixed breed, and I have 3 that are, they're one breed. They're actually here in the room with me. I brought 2 so I can show you them. You probably can see them tussling on the bed. I don't usually let them play on the bed, but I guess for this video, so you guys can see what they look like a little bit, they'll be on the bed. So we decided to adopt 1 dog at first. 2 dogs. We ended up getting 2 lab Rottweiler mix. One named Samuel and the other one named Sarah. We had Sarah and Samuel for about we had Samuel for 3 years. Sarah we had for about 2 years and a half. I ended up getting rid of the girl dog because she became too much of a hassle to deal with. She wouldn't listen. She kept releasing herself in the home, and it just made it difficult that every day, because she did certain things I felt like they were being done on purpose. She would poop in the house. She would not listen. So we ended up giving her to another family to adopt. So she's in a good place with somebody. And then I had Samuel. He's my lab Rottweiler. They look exactly alike, but she had the little white part in her beard. He didn't. So we have him. December will make it 3 years. Well, no, January will make it 3 years of me having him. Then my husband decided around February of this year, he's like, oh, let me get you a small little dog since you've been asking me for years to get a small little dog. So I said okay. So I went online and I went on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, just trying to find a puppy. At first I was thinking about finding one in the pound, but it's really hard to find the breed that I wanted. I wanted a Maltese, so I kept looking for a Maltese, but then I ended up finding a Multipoo, and it was like a family. They were like, I guess, a lot of people buy dogs around the holidays, so I guess he bought the dog for his family for the holidays, and then they found out it was too much for them to handle. So I was like, let me go get this Multipoo, and he was cute. He's very energetic. Like the first day he came to the house, he was attached to me, right? And my husband didn't really like him. He was like, that's your dog, that's your dog. Samuel's my dog. And then come to find out, that's literally his best friend. So like now that's his dog and the others are my dog. So the Multipoo, he's very active. He likes to jump. He loves to bark. And if you bounce any ball or any toy in front of him, he gets very hyper. He's the one that gets all the other small dogs riled up. They're always like running after him. Samuel, the big dog, Samuel, my lab, he's like the big brother. So all the other dogs, they attack him, but they really don't listen to him. He's basically not in control of nothing. They're always attacking him and playing with him, but he knows how to play really nicely with the smaller dogs. I never feel like uncomfortable with him being around. He is like the small dogs were meant to be his siblings, and he's just so happy to have them around. So yeah, Lucky, back to my Multipoo. He's active, he's funky, he's funny, he jumps everywhere, he's very smart, but he's not stubborn because he'll listen to you, but sometimes he can be just a little tad bit stubborn. But I noticed with Multipoos, they listen, but they bark a lot, and they're very active. He's the leader of the pack, so when he barks, the rest of the dogs will bark after him. So I always have to calm him down in order to get them calmed down. And then I have, after a month or 2, I told my husband maybe we should get the Maltipoo a little friend to play with, since he's the only small dog, and sometimes I don't want him playing with the big dog because he's so big, and sometimes he irritates him a little bit. So I'm like, let me get him a little girl that can be his playmate, right? So I kept looking and looking for another multipoo, but I couldn't find another multipoo. So I was like, maybe I could find a different breed, a shitzu, just another small dog. I was looking for any other small dog for him, you know. So I looked online again on Craigslist. I found a breeder, and she had a shitzu. She had 2 shitzu girls available. So I wrote her and I messaged, and I was like, do you have any of one of the girls available, and how much? She was like, oh, I have it. And she was far. She was like a good 2 hours away. But I was like, hey, let me do this. So my husband agreed, and we woke up early in the morning and we drove 2 hours to go get her. Her name is Angel. She's on the bed right now, jumping around. Let me grab her. This is Angel. She's my multipoo. She's stubborn. She doesn't listen at all. When I say this dog doesn't listen, I didn't know Shih Tzus were so stubborn. So yeah, she's the boss female. So she acts like a little baby. She doesn't like you giving the other dogs an attention without giving her attention. So she'll start barking when you get away from her. You know, she's very active. She loves to run, but she's also big. She's a little chunky one. We got to put a diaper on her because sometimes when you pick her up, she'll drop little pee somewhere, or if she gets mad, she'll pee somewhere. But other than that, she's not that bad. She listens to commands. Like if you tell her to go outside to pee, come back, she'll listen. The only thing is with Shih Tzus, sometimes, Shih Tzus are a stubborn breed. They're very stubborn. It's like a stubborn baby or a stubborn child. Like if you tell them come here, they'll stare you down when you tell them to come here. And then when they feel like it, that's when they'll come to you. So I got her, and then 2 months passed by. But let me tell you about when I got her. I don't want to talk bad about breeders, but when you go online, be careful with the breeders that you do end up, buying from. I learned the hard way. So when I got her, the lady, we met at a Kroger. Not even at her house, at a Kroger. She showed me her. She said the other girl was claimed, and this is who she has. So I took her, and when I got her, that's when I realized, like, she has so much fleas. When I say the biggest fleas on earth, she had fleas all over her body. And this is literally right when the pandemic hit. I think I got her like March 13th or the 14th, like when they announced that they were going to close down everything. So I was like, I don't know what vet is open. So I ended up calling Banfield, and they're like, we have an appointment tomorrow. And I was like, please, because I need to bring this dog in ASAP, because I didn't want to go and return her back to the person, because I was like, I already got her, I already paid for her, she has these fleas. And even if when the lady passed me the dog, if I saw the fleas, I would still pay for her, because I wouldn't want to leave her with her. And so the lady didn't have anything like she was supposed to. She didn't have no paperwork, she didn't have nothing. She did text me her information on where she got her first vaccinations, but when I went to Banfield, I was like, give her everything, because I don't even know if she actually did everything that she was supposed to. Because when I called the number of the veterinarian where she had went for her, I think, 5-week-old shots, they told me they haven't seen her in over 2 months. She was supposed to come back for her 12-week-old shots. Because when I got her, I think she was about 4 months. So, or 5 months, I think. She just turned 1 last month, so it's a couple of months since I've had her. So yeah, when I say the biggest fleas, she had bite marks all over her neck. I literally went from the car, put her separated. I didn't bring my multipoo when I went to go get her, because I wanted them to be acquainted to each other, not just put with each other. So I literally went from the car straight to the tub, took some tweezers, and I started plucking the little fleas on her and everything. Took her to the vet. They gave her shots. They tested her for parvo. She was clean. She was good. She got a good bill of health. The only real bad thing she had was the bites. They gave me an ointment for it, and also some stuff for her ear infection that she had in her ears. But yeah, she turned out good, and she was really skinny, but now she's a little chunky one. She's fluffy. That's what I love about her. So yeah, we got her. So I'm gonna put her down. So then 2 months passed by. Okay, March. So I'm talking about March, and then April, May. May, the dog owner, she messaged me and asked me, how is Angel doing? Mind you, I didn't tell her anything that was going on. I didn't report her. I feel like I should have, but I didn't report her. I was like, she's old. Maybe she doesn't really know what she's doing, or maybe she's not. I feel like maybe, because when I saw her, she looked a little disheveled. So I was like, maybe she's like a hoarder or something, and she just got a bunch of stuff in her house, and she's breeding dogs. So I was like, maybe she doesn't know what she's doing. But I told her Angel's doing good, Angel's well, and then she's like, well, the Angel's sister was never adopted, and she wanted me to see if I knew anybody or if I was willing to adopt the other dog. And I was like, what? She still has another dog there? And I was like, what happened? She's like, well, the person who tried to get Lily turned out to be a scam. So because the pandemic happened, she was like, let me leave her here until after the pandemic goes away. But since it wasn't going away, she messaged me. She was like, maybe Angel could have a companion. And I was like, ooh. So I told my husband, and my husband like, let's go get her. And I was like, babe, are you sure? Are you like, that's 1, 2, 3, that's gonna be 4 dogs. And he's like, no, we'll get her, we'll take care of her, because the condition we got Angel, I'm like, imagine what she's like if she could be worse. And I was like, okay, let's go get her. I'm not rich, people, but I was like, let's go save her. And he's like, let's go save her. And so we took what money we had, and we went and we adopted her. Ooh, they're moving my ring light. I'm getting hyper in the room. So we went to go pick her up, and she was in a worse condition than what I had Angel. Lily had more fleas on her, and she was super skinny. Like, she looked malnourished. Her fur looked like it hasn't been combed clean. She looked like she hadn't showered since she was born. It was horrible. So again, I called Banfield. They said they're open. You guys, do you know how much money I spent on these dogs? Like, it's expensive. The medicine is expensive. Thank God I still had some medicine left over from Angel. So when I went to the vet, they were like, you can use some of that for the ear infection. So she had the same issues, the fleas, the scabs in the skin, and also from the flea bites, and also ear infection. So we got her, we named her Lily. She's out there. I don't bring her in here because if all 4 of them are in here, they act a hot ghetto mess. So we named her Lily. You know, she took more work, and we had to keep bringing her to the doctors because she ended up having worms. We had to separate her from the other dogs until she was completely clean, and she had all the worms out of her system. I'm talking about right after she pooped, I had to dig that stuff up because I didn't want the other dogs, if they went outside, to step on it, and then they bring worms, and then they got worms, and everybody got worms. So we were trying to avoid worms in this house. So she ended up good. And then a week later, do you know that this lady called me again a week later to tell me, do I know anybody that's interested in the boy? I'm like, she think I'm running a farm or something? I'm just out here just wanting to adopt dogs. My husband's like, let's go get him. We're going to adopt him, and we're going to take care of him, and then we're going to re-adopt him to another family. You know, we're just going to take, he's like, as long as we get all the animals away from this lady. I'm like, what if she keeps breeding? He's like, we can't leave him here. He's been in that house. He's not there. He's not related to Angel and Lily like that. So he came from a whole different family. So I was like, she's like, I'll give you him for cheap and everything. He's a bigger breed. Like, he's still a shitzu, but he's bigger than the other 2 shitzu girls because he has a different mother and father, and he's brown, and he has a black face, and she's like, he's a rare breed of shitzus. So I was like, okay. I told my husband, like, let's go get them, and I was like, okay. So now I'm an owner of 5 dogs. So when I went to go get him, same thing, except I feel like she favored him a little more because he had less fleas in his fur, and I actually feel like she had them in crates. So I feel like the girls were in crates and he was probably free, so he wasn't stuck in an area where fleas can eat him. So he had less fleas, and he was actually bigger and strong. He looked like he ate. He was heavy. When I got him, he was a good 10 pounds. So compared to them, they were like 5 pounds. I don't know if it's just because he's a different, like, kind of Shih Tzu, or maybe I just feel like she took better care of him. So we got him, took him to the vet, and the veterinarian actually liked him so much. She was like, "Oh, he's so cute. You got 5 dogs now." So she's like, "Why don't you give him to me?" And I was like, "Yes. As soon as he gets better and he recovers, I'll think about it." Right? So I got him, and we picked out the name Rocky for him. And although I didn't want 5 dogs, he turned out to be my favorite out of all of them because he just got a sweet demeanor. It took about 4 days to get him to relax and be comfortable, and the girls didn't like him. They're like, we don't want him here, because the girls became friends with my black multipoo. They all became friends, and then they didn't want to invite him to the club. So it took it took him 4 days to get comfortable with me and my husband, and it took like a month for him to get comfortable with the other dogs, because for some reason they weren't accepting him. I don't know. I was like, yo, we're all in the same house. I don't understand how you guys are not comfortable around each other. So that's where me and my husband came with the conclusion. Maybe they were in crates separated from each other. Because I don't get it. But Rocky, he turned out to be my favorite. He's the sweetest. He's the nicest. And he's all over my pillows, huh? Him and his sister. Come on. Come here. Rocky, come here. Come say hi to the camera. I call him Rocky Taki. He's my favorite. He's chunky, and he's sweet, and he listens. He's stubborn, but he listens. That's the good thing about him. You just gotta tell him once, and he'll listen to you, you know? Say hi, Rocky. Say hi, Rocky. Yeah. So, although I don't have a bunch of kids, I basically got a bunch of kid dogs. If you see that fur, the good thing about these dogs, they don't shed much. They don't need a lot of food to eat. Just give them water. And another thing, Shih Tzus, they'll play, but they're not really like walking dogs. Like if you take them out to walk, like 10 minutes later, they don't want to go nowhere. They're like, I want to go back home. I'm not meant for this walking thing. So that's the good part of having Shih Tzu. So she tried to jump in front of the camera. That's how she is. I told you. If she doesn't get the attention and somebody else gets the attention, she wants to jump. Come here, Angel. Come here. Come here. Come on, big girl. Come on, big girl. See? Stubborn. Like, you want to jump up, but then when I tell you to jump up, see? And then she moved the camera thing again. That's what they keep doing. Y'all keep... Stop moving my ring light. They're like children. Like, you got to constantly go after them. So, yeah. So, that's how I end up with a lab, a multipoo, and 3 Shih Tzus. I love them all. My husband loves them. You see how I said I was going to take care of the last 2 and give them up for adoption? It didn't happen. We both ended up falling in love with them. They became part of the family, and we're like, we might as well just keep them. And, you know, that's it. And that's the story of how I ended up with 5 dogs, you know. So if you like the video, click the like button and subscribe to my channel for future videos so you can see more of my puppies. And bye. Say bye, Rocky Taki. Bye. You want to say bye, Angel? Say bye, Angel. That's all she do is lick.